How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we are back working on the drift truck. In yesterday's video, we went ahead and started fabricating some shock towers to mount the new Miata coilovers in the truck. We're doing a coilover conversion. We went ahead and got one side completely finished up. As you can tell, that is our little strut tower that we made. Now it's time to make it a second time. After we finish making the strut towers, we're gonna go ahead and mount the engine, or put the engine in there, make sure the strut towers clear the engine, and then we are going to mount our steering rack. So hopefully by the end of this video, we have our steering rack in, completely mounted, fabricated, connected to the steering wheel, and we have all our suspension in. So at the end of this video, it should be able to roll and steer and go places. Gonna go ahead and hop right into it, making the second shock tower. Gotta cut some steel tubing, and we got to finish this top hat I'm making, and then start doing some welding. Pretty sure my drill just died. That's not right. Damn it. Okay. Woohoo! Ooh, new drill. It's brushless. Tacked up the top hat. This side has been significantly more difficult. For one, I have to match it with the other side, and secondly, this steering shaft is right there. Well, that is actually perfect timing. The welder just ran out of wire. It's also about to run out of gas. And I just finished welding enough so we can put the truck on the ground so we can load that front suspension to see what happens. I hope I welded enough. I welded all the triangles up, so that should be enough. I didn't film much of putting this second strut tower together and putting it in the truck because you guys saw it in more detail in last video. But I will say it was significantly difficult because we had to make sure it matched the other side exactly. We managed to do it. The height is exactly the same. The distance from the firewall is exactly the same. The level is within 1 degree, so it's close enough. But it was a pain getting it to that position. Let's put it on the ground! Except not exactly, because it still doesn't have tires, so we're gonna put it on the wood. It's on the ground, nothing broke. They did flex a little bit because they're not completely welded up, so it's probably not a good idea to do this, but whatever, I wanted to see on the ground. I will say the coilovers are a little bit stiffer than I expected, so it sits pretty high, and I only have about 2 inches of adjustment, so I'm assuming with the engine, maybe it'll sit an inch lower, so hopefully 3 inches lower, which isn't as low as I wanted, but as of now, everything clears. It looks like it's all working. I'm gonna check these upper control arms to see if those are clearing. Barely. How's the poke? Pretty bad, very bad. It's got positive camber right now, so can't really expect much. I'm gonna call it a night for tonight. Tomorrow, I'll get some wire, hopefully have enough gas to finish welding up these arms, and then we can work on, well, Sorry. Hopefully have enough gas to finish welding out the strut towers, then hopefully we can take off the upper control arms, modify those. So I did manage to get some welding wire, bada bing, bada boom. The problem is that the welding gas store is closed on a Sunday. It's Sunday, and I don't have enough gas to do any serious welding. So instead of rushing to the next task of mounting the steering rack, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the suspension a little bit more. I'm gonna do some more reinforcements on the shock towers, and then I'm gonna go ahead, take off the upper control arms, modify them so we can add more camber so we can get the wheels to fit. And then I wanna adjust the coilovers and get the truck sitting where I want it to be sitting, even though there's no engine, and we're gonna have to readjust them when we put the engine in. I just wanna look at it, okay. We were kind of mocking things up last night. I think we figured out kind of what we're gonna do for the steering rack. Hopefully the oil pan, the front sump will sit here. We want to be able to add some camber so our wheels are fitted. Now the problem is that the coilover, the spring is already like really close to this little lip here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead, cut that lip off, and then eventually, not now because I don't have gas, I'll weld a support on the bottom side. We're gonna have to pull these on and off a couple of times, to paint them, to do some other stuff. And we are eventually gonna be getting some adjustable, completely custom upper control arms, but for now, this is what we're gonna do to make them work. Now, I agree the idea of cutting upper control arms sounds kind of sketchy, but look at these bad boys. It actually looks like amazing. It looks like it was meant to be. Like, look at this line. Well, okay, the cut's not perfect, but like how it follows this stock fabrication line, like this little bend. It's awesome. And I think these will still be plenty strong for what we're gonna use them for, which I guess is like the most taxing thing ever, drifting. But I still think they're gonna be plenty strong. There's still a lot of metal here. Let's go ahead and throw these back in. Before we throw these in, I'm gonna go ahead and shorten this coilover. As you saw there with the wheel on there, the wheel was sitting about right here. With the tire, it would have been sitting about right here. So that means with an engine in here and it lowered on the ground, it would be tucking real hard. So we can go as low as we want on this thing, so that's perfect. The strut towers are the perfect position, which I'm really happy about. It's probably a little bit too low right now. It definitely is, but we're gonna send it just to see how it looks, because I want to. Now what we wanna go ahead and do is add some camber. Now when I was originally looking at this truck, I didn't think you could add camber, negative camber, but turns out you can. Turns out literally in order to add camber, you put spacers, washers, in between the frame and the upper control arm. Pretty much the upper control arm swoops over the frame and bolts in on the inside of the frame. So if you add spacers there, it pushes the upper control arm in more and thus gives you more camber. So literally I'm gonna go to the store, get some washers that fit these bolts, put a couple washers on. We wanna try to get the wheel flush. I don't know if that's gonna be possible. There still isn't a ton of room in between the upper control arm and the coilover, but let's see. Got the goods. This is the camber before we adjust it. There is none. It's actually positive camber. Definitely added camber, but not much. So as you can tell, there's a little bit of camber now. Gotta add a little bit more. With the way everything sits now, this is the most amount of front camber we can have. Pretty good. With a roll and some stretched tires, which we're getting slightly stretched tires. We're getting 225s up front, and this is a 9-inch rim. So it's the same stuff I have on my Miata. It's a very, very, very slight stretch. But with that, fender roll and pull, and the settings we have now, we should be able to fit the tires. Oh boys, goddamn. Oh, it's good. It's really good. This is literally so good. This is what I've been dreaming of for this build, looks wise. Like, look at, so it needs a little bit more, but that's a good amount of camber. It's probably 3 or 40 degrees. The spring isn't hitting the upper control arm, but it's really close. So I think we're gonna have to do some less upper control arm camber and more lower control arm camber. This is how I want it to sit with an engine and trans in there. So we'll have to lift it up a little bit, but it's weird coming up to a truck and having the roof be like lower than your chest. Now, originally I was gonna end the video right here, but the tires for the drift truck come tomorrow, and I'm sure you guys are just as excited as I am to see this thing on the ground with some meaty tires on it. I'm so excited. It already looks so good, and it's without tires. So tomorrow, we'll come back, put the tires on the wheels, put the wheels on the drift truck, roll her out into the sun, and just bask in the glory. Would you look at that? Tires have arrived. These tires are really awesome. I want to talk about them some more, but for now, let's get them in the Mom-mobile and to the tire store so we can get them mounted. A lot of wheels and tires for a Ford Escape.
Do you know what I'm saying?
But it fit. Normally we would take the bus for something like this, but the bus doesn't run right now.
It's a good thing we got Kronk.
Just needs new batteries. It's okay. Nothing 6.0 related.
Sorry, I just don't want to forget about that.
Damn. These things look so good with some nice meaty R compound tires mounted on them. The company that makes these tires is actually giving a partial tire sponsorship to the channel. So we have a partial tire sponsorship for the drift truck, which is awesome. These tires are the Accelera 651 Sport, as you can tell there. They are the cheapest, most versatile R compound tires that you guys can buy. And I have a 10% discount code for you guys. So if you go over to TireStreets, use the code, I believe, GINGIUM10 or GINGIUM something. It'll be in the description. If you use that code, you can get 10% off of these tires. I'm really excited to have them on the truck. The reason why I went with an R compound tire is because since it is a truck, I want as much grip in the rear end as I can possibly get. So the answer to that is R compound tires. So yeah, huge thanks to TireStreets for sponsoring this build. Let's go ahead and throw these wheels and tires on here and drop her on the ground. That's exciting. Oh, 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 oh. Do you see that? This thing is so light. What the heck? That's not normal. Aw, hell yeah. Damn. Drift truck is on the ground on its own suspension for the first time. The rear isn't quite as low as we want it, but it's a nice height right now. This rear fitment is literally perfect with a little bit of a roll. The front is pretty good. It's got a little bit of poke, but let me go ahead and make this wheel straight here. There we go. It's definitely has some poke, but hell yes, I'm so excited. It looks so good. The tires look so good. The wheels look so good. Thank you again to Koenig and TireStreets for the wheel and tire setup. So happy with the way the front suspension turned out. Everything looks good. The rear suspension also looks good, although I don't know why the axle is so far back. It looks funky. It doesn't look right, but I mean, the leaf springs are on right, so I don't know why the axle would be in a wrong position. I just want to say that the support on the last coilover video was unreal. It's so awesome to see that you guys can see and appreciate how much time and effort I'm putting into this build, how much time and effort I'm putting into fabricating stuff and actually doing it right. And also just how far we've come. 3 years ago, I was hot gluing wires together. That's what I always say, but It's crazy to think that I went from hot gluing wires together to now building my own suspension. A couple of you guys had some good feedback on the suspension. It's strong, but there's some flex from the left to the right when the suspension compresses. To fix that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna build a strut tower brace that connects the two strut towers together, so then they can't go in and out. We can't do that obviously until the engine is in there. I also want to say that I will be painting everything, but yet again, I'm not going to paint everything until everything is fabricated. So all the mounts are made and stuff. Then I'm going to paint it all at once. In terms of transmissions, last episode I was looking for some transmissions. We're actually going to be going with a CD09 most likely. It sucks because it's significantly more expensive than the other transmissions I wanted, but it's just going to shift better. It's a 6-speed and it's going to be so much stronger. With that being said, if you want to support the channel, go check out my Patreon. I did order some new air fresheners, so those will be available for pre-sale in a week or so. Thank you to everyone who is supporting the channel. It really means the world to me. I can't wait to start shredding this truck. We're getting close. I just need the transmission and then build all the mounts and then wire it up. I already got a time set up with Mike, Red Abyss Automotive, to wire this thing up in a month. So I need to have it done in a month for him to wire it up. I miss Mike. I miss hanging out with him at the shop and stuff. So it's gonna be fun to work on him with this. Work on this with him. It's gonna be it for this video. Finishing the front suspension. It's 99% of the way done. I need to finish up some welding and make the strut tower brace, but besides that, it's 99% done. Thank you guys again so much for this. I'm so excited to see this thing. Also, like I said, it's so light. Like this truck, the chassis weighs like less than 2,000 pounds. I can push it just by boop. That's good, and that's with rusted rear rotors, so yeah, that's a really good sign. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you everyone, thank you sponsors, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is so awesome. I'm so happy that I'm able to do this, so thank you guys. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I totally appreciate it. 300,000 subscribers, let's get to 400,000. I guess I'll see you guys in the next video where hopefully we mount the steering rack. I think that's the next thing on the list to do. Finish the suspension, mount the steering rack. Yeah, seems right to me. I'll see you next time. Peace out and goodbye.